Prefer when I'm by myself. I don't wanna hang around y'all. Pray for good health.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Combat Sports Weekly. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, do we have a show for you. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. So that's Coach Franco's Corner on Facebook and on YouTube. And we're also live on MMA Davao here on Facebook. Of course, joining me is my fellow Titos of Fighting, JC Reyes. JC, what's up, bro?
What is up, everyone? Monday ulit. Monday na naman.
Kahit kailan ni
Titos
JC.
of
Si JC
Fighting
talaga.
Day.
Diba? So we are going to recap all the great fights, the fighters to watch out for, and we have a special guest. So let's get the show rolling dahil medyo maganda po ang ating guest ngayon. Of course, to help us with our special guest is none other than our fellow Titos of Fighting, John Yamba of PH Boxing Corner, who, by the way, finally has a YouTube channel. So YouTube channel, PH Boxing Corner. Everyone head on over there, subscribe to that channel. Yes. And our pilot episode is with Isaiah Hart. So John, thank you for joining us
Thank
in
you
your
for having me.
office.
Very professional tayo ngayon, boys.
Oo, di ba?
Magandang gabi.
So finally, John, you have heeded our request. May YouTube channel ka na. And then, short rundown. Isaiah Hart interview. Kamusta yung, how was the experience? How was Isaiah Hart? And anong tawag to? Give our viewers a short run through, and then let's lead them to the entire episode on your YouTube channel.
Right. So we were able to interview si Isaiah Hart, no? Franco and I. And Isaiah Hart is going to fight si Yumir Marshall, who is the our bronze medalist in itong Tokyo Olympics. And si Isaiah, what I noticed immediately kay Isaiah Hart, he has a very good personality, no? Very likable siya, and makikita mo sa kanya yung confidence sa skills niya, sa capabilities niya, but he doesn't brush off as parang mayabang or antipathic. Makikita mo na, he really believes in himself. And nung in-interview nga namin siya ni Franco, makikita mo na he's taking this sport really seriously. Hindi siya yung parang just doing this for fun. Na he's really putting in the work. And he knows na he's a lot to improve on, but mukhang he's in the right track naman. So basically, kung gusto niyo makilala yung mga kalaban ni Yumir and anong insights na, in fact, meron siyang prediction doon sa laban. Just go check it out. Sobrang saya nung interview, sobrang light. And I hope you guys enjoy it.
And of course, PH Boxing Corner on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel. And of course, as John's mission and vision is always to look for really, really quality boxing content and the fighters that you should watch out for. And speaking of fighters to watch out for, we have a very, very special guest.
Yeah.
He just won overseas. He brought honor to this country. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome LJ Pamisa. LJ, thank you for joining us. Kamusta? Okay, LJ, quick kwentuhan lang tayo dito. Ano yung napanalunan mo recently?
Nagkaroon ako silver medalist sa Asian.
Okay. Anong buong pangalan ng tournament para sa mga nanonood,
ASBC.
nakikinig sa atin?
ASBC po. Junior and Youth.
Junior and Youth World Championships ba to?
Yes.
Okay, go John.
Sa mga hindi nakakaalam, I believe, LJ, you're also from CDO, di ba?
Yes po, sir.
Siyempre, ang kilala natin ng galing din dyan, no other than Mr. Carlo Paalam, the silver medalist nitong Tokyo Olympics. So, ang first question ko, siyempre coming from the same neighborhood o same town, same city, gaano ka na-influence or na-inspire dito sa kababayan mo na si Carlo Paalam?
Kung po, sir, na-inspire ko siya kasi magaling. Gusto ko din siya magaya po.
So anong feeling mo na meron kang kababayan na alam mo pare-pareho kayong pinupuntahan diyan, speak the same language, kumbaga more or less nagkaabot kayo sa Philippine team. Gaano ka na mas motivate na parang kung kaya ni Kuya Carlo, kaya ko din? Na-feel mo ba yon?
Opo, sir. Nasa sarili ko kung kaya niya, kaya ko ba din po. So, ganun po, sir. Sumakan po, sir, sa training, sabay po kami po.
Okay. So, kumbaga mag-focus tayo sa'yo, no? Kasi napanood ko yung semifinals mo with, I think, Iran. Tama ba?
Yes,
Sa semifinals yung semifinals sa ASBC. Itong recent, di ba? Ang semifinals si Iran ang kalaban mo, di ba?
Yes
Iran.
po, sir.
Iran. Ang napansin ko dun sa it was very one-sided, no? You controlled the distance nung sa laban. Ang napansin ko, very comfortable ka na on the back foot. Kumbaga kahit aggressive yung kalaban mo, kumbaga you let him pay for his mistakes. Kasi every time umaatras ka, naging over-aggressive siya and lagi siyang sumasalo ng 1-2 or check hook galing sa'yo. Ano yung strategy mo coming into that fight? Binasa mo ba yung laro ng kalaban or is that how you fight talaga?
Kwan po, sir, sa wala pong laro, binasa ko po. Tapos tinuro sa mga coaches kung anong gagawin ko. Pagpasok niya, labas agad. Yan po, sir.
What I noticed, so Franco, kung napanood niyo yung laban, ang ganda ng head movement ni LJ. He was comfortable under pressure and very accurate yung left hand niya. Kumbaga, hindi talaga nagmimintis eh. Ewan ko kung sobrang asintado nito ni LJ o talagang walang head movement itong si Iran. Pero either way, it was a great display of boxing. And true enough, nung decision it was very one-sided and unanimous yung nakuha ni LJ. Franco, if you have anything to add.
So, let's expound on that, LJ. So, paano ka napasok sa boxing? Ano yung nag-lure sa iyo para i-try yung boxing, then eventually gusto mo siyang gawing career ngayon?
Ang una po, sir, nagpan po sa akin, tito ko po, si Elmer Pamisa, ang nagaya po sa akin na pumasok para makatulong mo rin sa pamilya, makaraos po din sa kahirapan.
Tapos, when the first time na na-experience mo mag-training sa gym, so, kasi ito yung medyo nagiging narrative ng mga maraming Pinoy boxers di ba? So, sa kanila, para makaahon sa kahirapan, pero yung iba kasi, yun nga yung iba napipilitan lang, pero ikaw kasi, yung galaw mo, yung fluidity mo, tapos talagang, lumalabas na talagang it's either talagang natural sa iyo yung boxing or talagang nagustuhan mo mag-boxing. So ikaw ba nagsimula sa ganong klaseng approach tas eventually talagang nagustuhan mo pala or sa tingin mo para sa iyo yung boxing?
Sa tingin ko po para po sa akin na yung boxing. Nakan po sa akin mga kapatid, boxer rin kapatid ko.
Ayun.
So, gusto ko rin magaya sa kanila, pumasok ako sa boxing.
Para dun sa mga nanonood sa atin, saan yung venue nung competition na sinalihan mo?
Sa Aman Jordan.
Okay, so nasa Jordan si LJ noon. So LJ, pakikwento sa mga manonood at nakikinig sa atin ngayon, ano yung experience ng pagko-compete abroad?
Well po, may halong ka pa. Tapos masaya lang po, sir, kasi nagpan pa kayo na ganda po, sir, kasi hindi lang ang sitting dinala mo buong Pilipinas na
So nandun yung sense of pride, 'di ba? So meron ka bang nakitang differences? Meron bang pagkakaiba yung kunyari lumalaban ka dito sa Pilipinas tapos lalaban ka sa ibang bansa? Ano yung difference ng experience na yun?
Doon po, mayroon po huminga kasi ang lamig. Mayroon tumbang. Tapos, dito ko sila. Dali lang kasi nakon mo yung tema dito Doon, mahirap talaga lamig. Tapos, maglaro. Hirap pa
So nag-adjust ka doon. So yun yung isa sa mga malaking adjustment mo, yung weather. Yung klima, 'di ba? Yung lamig, tapos 'Di ba kailangan mo pa mag-warm up. Sinong kasama mo bala dito? Ikaw, tas ilang kayong magkakasama
Ilan kayo
nagpunta
sa
dyan?
team na nag-compete?
Oo.
Nakasulat sir, yung marinig.
Teka lang.
Ah,
Yan, lapit mo konti.
Lapit ka konti, LJ.
Yan. Ilan kayong nagpunta sa ano? Ilan kayo nagpunta sa Jordan?
Kung sir, 6.
6.
Anim. By the way, Franco, no, sa
Go.
mga hindi nakakaalam, si LJ, nung 2019, nag-silver din siya. I think, same tournament, di ba? Ibang venue lang? Sa ibang venue lang.
Opo sir, sa UAE po. Nag-silver po ako.
Sa UAE. So, di ba wala kang earphones, LJ?
Wala po sir.
Sige, di ba? Gagawin natin ng paraan to.
Gawa natin ang paraan yan.
Sige. So paano mo mako-compare yung first time na nakapag-silver ka nung 2019 compare dito sa experience mo ngayong sa 2022 naman? Kasi syempre iba yung confidence mo siguro na nanalo ka na ng silver. Paano yung mindset mo coming into this tournament?
Mindset ko po sir ko sa 2019 process pa ko, kaya ko pa rin po to sa nilaro ko dito.
So ano ngayon, paano to ngayon LJ? Meron na bang susunod na tournament kang sasalihan? Kailan ang balik mo sa gym? Ano yung mga plano mo?
Plano ko po training hard po tapos ngayong kami po November po sa World magpatuloy ko po gawin ng ginto.
Ayan. Saan ka magko-compete? Saan?
Hindi pa rin alam po sir pero meron daw kayo ngayon November sa World Youth.
At syempre, ayan, dahil may pinag-uusapan tayong bagong champion dito. Ewan ko pero sa tingin ko, teka lang, nawala yung connection niya. Teka, si Tito Carl, hinihintay na lang din namin. Okay, meron ding gustong sumama sa usapan natin dito, kaso nga lang, hindi makakonect.
Pero matanong ko lang habang inaantay natin na LJ, tatanong ko lang, kung yung kumpara dun sa training mo, paghahanda mo ng 2019, mas naging maganda ba yung suporta ngayon sa training mo ngayong 2022 kumpara noon? Kasi dati pag silver ka na.
Yes po.
Gaano kalaking bagay ba yung nasusuportahan ka ng maayos sa training mo?
Yes po sir.
Gaano kalaking bagay na nag-improve yung suporta sa'yo ng mga sponsors ng gobyerno nga ba para dito sa paghahanda mo sa mga world amateur events na to?
Po.
Kamusta yung suporta sa'yo ng kamusta yung suporta sa'yo LJ when it comes to your competitions?
Ganda po sir. Daming support tayo, mga support. Lahat po, binigay po nila paano po.
O yan ang maganda. At least, di ba? Kahit paano, nakikita natin, nasusuportahan yung ating mga atletang Pinoy. So, So, afterwards, mag-ano ka? Ikaw, personally, LJ, gusto mo ba same track? So, youth championships, then eventually progress to the Olympics.
Yes po, sir.
That's good.
Oh, ayan, no? Tapos, syempre, hindi po makukumpleto ang Combat Sports Weekly kung wala si Tito Karl De Mesa. What's up, Tito Karl? We're talking to LJ Pamisa. LJ Pamisa just won silver in the Youth World Amateur Championships in Jordan. He previously won silver as well nung kailan ba to LJ? 2019 ba? 2019. So Oh, kita mo nga,
Welcome sa show.
may patarp si LJ sa likod.
Pakita mo
Ayan,
naman
oh.
yung tarpaulin sa
Ayan, oh, kita mo, may
Ayan.
patarp si... may patarp si LJ.
The universal symbol of Filipino success, sir. Congratulations. Belated.
kahit anong ma-accomplish mo, pumasa ka sa board exam, sa,
Oo.
di ba? Kung mag-compete ka, lahat may tarpaulin eh.
Tumpak.
Diba? Pero LJ, we're very very proud of you. Sobrang saya nung ginawa mo. Ang ganda rin nung showing. Ang ganda nung performance mo doon. Tapos iilan lang kayo. Kaya rin this is the purpose of the show para yung mga taong hindi masyadong alam na uy, may nangyari palang ganun sa Jordan, di namin alam. Yan. Yan yung magandang ginagawa ni PH Boxing Corner. Tapos yan, kasama kami dito sa Combat Sports Weekly. Para, ayan, at least we have to tell people that there are boxers out there who are making the country proud. Okay? Teka lang. Si JC. JC, baka may question ka pa.
Kailan kayo nakabalik galing sa competition mo sa Jordan?
Kan po, sir. 17.
Pagkatapos halos bumalik din kayo agad. Nung bang bumalik kayo, meron parang kasi usually yan, alam ko ang suporta ng local government ng Cagayan de Oro pagdating sa mga atleta nila, pati sa boxing Nagkaroon ba ng parang courtesy call sa local government pag-uwi mo sa?
Yes po, sir. Meron po.
Ang gobyerno kahit sa grassroots level. Kasi kami ng sports at lalo na sa boxing, medyo yan ang challenge yung support lalo na ng gobyerno. I mean, maraming kamukha ng sa inyo. Alam ko ang ABAP supportad na ng MVP Foundation yata. And iba rin kapag mismo may funding ng
LGU.
gobyerno kasi LGU.
Yes po, sir. Meron pag-uwi pa tayo dito. Congrats. Punta po kami sa New York po namin.
May motorcade ba nangyari?
Teka lang. Yung isa pang special guest namin, kung hindi mo kung naririnig mo kami, kabit mo yung mic mo, bro. Kabit mo yung microphone mo. Hindi kita mapasok kasi yung microphone mo hindi naka-connect Baka maya hindi na meron pa tayong isang special guest sana Ayaw lang mapasok ng microphone niya Kailangan ma-connect
Pero kami surprise guest para sa iyo,
surprise
LJ.
guest kami kay
May
LJ.
surprise guest kami para sa iyo.
Kaso yung microphone niya ayaw
Inspirasyon
mag-connect
to.
So LJ, kwento mo, kamusta ang mag-run through ka? Ano ang isang typical training day for you?
Sir?
Ano ang training day para sa iyo? Ano ang ginagawa mo pag nagte-training ka sa araw-araw? Ano yung routine?
Bakit po, sir? Jogging. Training hard po. Tapos, unang
Hello. Ayan. Naputol si LJ. Okay, LJ, tuloy mo yung kinukwento mo kanina. Yan, nawala yung natin.
Nawala yung
Ayan.
Wala yung audio.
Nawala yung
Hello?
audio ni LJ. Ito pinapatay. Anyway, LJ, kung naririnig mo kami, okay? I-unmute nga kita. Nako, nawala rin yung microphone ni LJ. Anyway, LJ, ayun!
malakas
Ayun,
nga yung
LJ.
ulan talaga sa kanila.
Parang umuulan dyan, parang umuulan, Ayan. Anyway, LJ, saan yung social media outlets mo para ma-follow ka ng mga nanonood at nakikinig sa atin ngayon? Saan ka nila pwedeng i-follow?
Sir?
Saan ang social media mo, LJ, para pwede kang i-follow ng mga nanonood at nakikinig sa atin?
Sa kanto, IG, LJ Pamisa, tapos sa FB po, yun pa rin.
LJ Pamisa. So everyone, LJ Pamisa on Facebook and on Instagram. Please follow LJ Pamisa. Hey, look for his journey. Watch out for the things that he's going to accomplish for our country. And make sure na yung susunod na panalo ni LJ Pamisa, nandun tayo uli. Panoorin natin yung mga laban niya all the way to the advancement of his career. As always, LJ, thank you so much for joining us. Maraming salamat, LJ, sa oras. At yung susunod na kwentuhan natin, pag-usapan
Gold
natin uli
medalist
yung
ka na.
susunod mong panalo. Okay?
Oo.
Maraming salamat, LJ.
Salamat, LJ. Ingat, ingat.
And as always, that is a special presentation by PH Boxing Corner and Combat Sports Weekly. John, thank you so much for your time. Where can
Thank you,
people find
guys.
you? Your channels, bro. Plug your
Yes,
channels
sir.
here, bro.
This is John. Please follow me on Instagram, PH Boxing Corner, on YouTube, PH Boxing Corner, Facebook, and TikTok, PH Boxing Corner. Maraming salamat sa support, guys. See you guys
Yan,
next
okay.
time.
Thank you.
Always.
Back to
Quality
work.
content. John,
Back
thank
to
you.
Sa opisina
Ayun.
pa ata ito.
Oo
And
nga.
that is John of PH Boxing Corner as always. Okay, yan ang ano natin. True to form for Combat Sports Week, we always feature the up-and-coming fighters, the people who
Yes.
bring honor to this country. Medyo, yan. So, kailangan kahit na nagchichismisan tayo dito, meron din tayong value ina-add sa ating mga ano.
Kahit konti lang.
Kahit konti lang. Ayan. Relly Aguilar, Coach Bad Trip daw. Oy, mag-klase ka muna. Okay? Klase ka muna.
Oo nga.
Mag-klase ka muna. Okay? Attend class. Of course, our URCC double champ, Chris Hoffman.
Goodbye.
Hey, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing great there. Ayan. And isa sa ating mga staples sa MMA
Oo.
at sa
Arvin
striking
Chan.
combat sports. Okay, Arvin Chan. Isang magandang
Making
gabi
waves
sa'yo.
in Malaysia.
Oh. And one of the best guys to produce bars in the industry. Lord the South Mall represent, mga old school, yes, that's hot Knicks. Yan. Yung hindi pa po uso ang ano, hindi pa siya flip top noon, sunugan pa lang siya, tapos early stages of flip top. This guy was one of the guys to beat. Okay, this was one of the guys to watch out for. So, one of my favorite hip hop artists, yan si Hot Knicks. And of course, one of our favorite referees, Ref Flo. Ayan, Florence Eusebio.
Bald lives matter, bro.
Yup, bald lives. Ayan, yes, good job tayo sa Olongapo.
Yes.
Diyos ko, the URCC is back
Grabe
with
talaga yung
Unbreakable,
event na yun.
Anak ng Gapo. Thank you so much. I hope I don't murder the names. Mayor Vega Fria, Congresswoman Mitos Magsaysay, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So, URCC Unbreakable, Anak ng Gapo. Thank you so much for the people of Olongapo. Sobrang saya, sobrang gulo, sobrang ingay. Iba talaga pag may crowd eh.
Oo.
Kasi iba, ang saya. Okay?
Hopefully nga,
So,
sundan ka agad eh, no?
hopefully we get to do one here in Metro Manila. I mean, with all the restrictions, syempre, we always make sure
Feeling
that
ko
we
mukhang pwede
follow
naman
safety
na eh.
protocols. Oo. Pwede rin naman na MMA event talaga, pero sabihin na lang natin political caravan o kaya political rally.
Nakakalusot naman eh.
Lusot yun.
Oo.
Lalo na pag
Diba?
open air.
Oo.
Diba? Of course. And one of the more highlight, this is a mix of good and bad news. So we will head on over to 1FC. 1X. Okay, 1X was, I think this was like a triple header. I do not
Parang yung
understand how they were
century
able
nila.
to do
Long
that.
card,
I don't,
Grabe.
Hindi ko alam paano nila nagawa yun, pero it was probably either everyone was awake, di ba? Or some of
Grabe,
it
no?
was taped, some of it was
Alauna
live.
pa lang.
Oo, pero
Lumalabangan.
wild. Grabe yon. As always, you can always count on 1FC to in terms of production, di ba? In terms of providing good fights. Let's head on over to some of the fights that caught our attention. Of course, yan, yung mga kababayan natin na lumaban. Let's start off with Loman versus Sato. Loman won via unanimous decision. Your thoughts on this one, Tito Carl?
It was classic, Stephen Loman. Wala namang pinagbago. I just really like the way he dominated the fight. Kasi, last time I think he had I don't know if it was jitters or, parang bagong crowd lang. Kasi used naman siya
Mhm.
sa ano eh. Parang he didn't do so well. This time, I think he found his rhythm, his footing. Wala
Ikaw,
namang
JC.
parang it's normal.
Sa akin naman kasi yun nga, Stephen Loman, bago pa siya pumasok sa One Championship, talagang alam na natin yung caliber niya. Parang itong laban niya kasi dito, it was parang, I guess we can call it a competitive playing field, more competitive playing field for him dito sa One Championship. And yun nga, any opponent na iharap sa kanya dito in this promotion would, can be considered a tougher test for him tuwing papasok siya sa One Championship cage. And yun nga, ito, wala, I guess, tama si Carl, wala na yung kaba niya, wala na yung...
Seem confident.
Actually, dapat, yan, mas confident na siya. Buti na lang din, yung One Championship debut niya kasi, if I remember right, was supposed to be against John Lineker na hindi na natuloy. Pero I guess, pag mag-continue naman tong win streak niya, and
Doon na rin
if he
naabot
continues to impress, malamang contender na rin siya sa title sometime soon.
Oh, I totally agree. Loman, yeah, I think Loman is able to settle in when called upon to fight inside the 1FC cage. Tapos, the power was there. You could see that he was throwing a lot of power shots. He was mixing his power shots with his kicks. The very notable aspect of Stephen Loman's game is his ability to change levels. So he can strike with you, he can kick, but at the same time, at any given moment na gusto niyang mag-take down, he can take you down. And it was very evident during that fight. As in, ang ganda nung execution ng mga takedowns ni Stephen Loman. Good points for Sato on certain sequences wherein he was able to defend. Pero other than that, Stephen Loman was able to take him down at will. It's yun yung medyo, I mean, true to form with any Lakay MMA fighter. They don't really know what to do when they're inside close guard. Diba? Yung the ability to force half guard or to pass someone's guard structure in an MMA setting is still something that they really need to work on. And definitely the toughness, the athleticism, and the power. Okay, the strength and the power of Stephen Loman won him that fight. Considering mas matangkad si Sato and he had the height and reach advantage, very impressive win, very impressive performance.
I think you're right din, Coach, na what is unique about Loman, I mean, within the Lakay structure nga is mas magaling siyang mag-pace. Parang meron siyang ability to blitz when he wants.
Yep.
And I guess ito yung mga bagong things in Team Lakay na yung mga mas bata, yung mga mas bagong fighters na kumbaga pumipitas ng mga bunga ng mga paghihirap nila from before sa mga pagbabago nila sa training and everything.
Sa elders nila. Mga manong.
Oo.
Di ba maganda yun eh. The evolution of the training program, and they're the next level, the next phase of Lakay MMA fighters, di ba? More complete, more well-rounded, more confidence in executing, di ba? So it's very, very interesting, di ba? On the things that they're gonna work on and they're gonna improve. Diba? Ako naman, I've always said na hopefully they do more boxing, diba? So that they could, kasi as you saw in the Loman fight, if you throw a lot of punches, it creates a lot of opportunity, diba? And then we go to another high-level Lakay MMA fighter that is also part of the next generation. This was Jeremy Miyada versus Lito Adiwang. Lito Adiwang, as we all know, is one of those young guns of the Lakay MMA program, and yun nga, very evident as well. Strong, athletic, good striking, good ground skills, fast as hell. And then he was up against the Marok for stalwart Jeremy Miyado.
Yeah. Ang daming nagko-complain nung una, no? Na Pinoy versus Pinoy.
Ang hirap Pinoy versus Pinoy talaga eh. That's the thing eh. It's so hard. It's so hard to watch.
But when this match happened na, parang okay, kaya pala.
Yeah.
Maganda matchmaking.
Maganda. As in, maganda naman talaga yung matchup. You can never go wrong with a Pinoy versus Pinoy. Pero syempre kasi ako, siguro, that's the ano in me na I want to see Pinoy fighters go up against their their foreign
Foreign
counterparts
counterparts,
eh. 'Di ba?
Mm.
Kasi mas maganda 'yun eh para we can really assess where we are right now, where they are right now. Kasi when you talk about Pinoy versus Pinoy, you know that they're going to be prepared, you know that they're going to give it all they got.
Tatawanan
And
pa kayong dalawa eh, di ba?
oo,
Oo.
'di ba? And what was the story? I mean, how did you see this fight, JC?
Dito sa fight na to actually, nagulat ako kasi mas dumadalas yung paggamit ni Jeremy Miyado ng kanyang calf kicks. Nagka-calf kicks siya dito sa laban na to eh. Ang daming tumatama na solid na calf kicks eh. Mas marami siyang sipa kaysa bato ng suntok. And ang nangyayari nga si Adiwang pa yung mas sumusuntok. May mga mas naglalanda punches, kaya lang mas maraming kicks na pumasok from Miyado kaysa mga punches from Adiwang na pumasok. And gusto ko rin yung pag-struggle nila to bring the fight to the ground. Ang ganda ng mga sequences nun nasa fight, lalo na yung sequence where sumipa bumato ng roundhouse si Adiwang tapos nasalo ni Miyado. Then yun na, nag-aagawan sila sa gilid ng cage. Then yung pagbato, alam mo, naghagis lang ng heavy bag si Miyado pang training o ng grappling dummy. Grabe.
Lakas
And then yun nga, the way the fight ended, parang sa iba kasi hindi sila ganun ka-convinced sa outcome ng laban. Kaya lang if you watch the fight, makikita mo na yung injury was a result of paulit-ulit na damage dun sa leg. Most likely. Yun ang nakita ko
accumulation
dun
na.
Oh.
Yep, definitely 100% si JC Don. This was the fight of toughness and attrition, and it was the fight of calf kicks and the evolution of calf kicks, how Jeremy Miyado was able to use it. For me, that was also one of the best sequences. Adiwang was able to kick the body, nasalo ni Miyado, and then he was able to capitalize on that. And of course, as what we previously stated, the accumulation of damage. Okay? Yung iba kasi, nasana yung mga maraming audience, maraming manonood. They're so used to seeing one-punch knockouts. We want to see a lot of headshots, di ba? We want to see a lot of head hunting. It's very entertaining. It makes for a good highlight reel. But from a scientific perspective, the accumulation, yung accumulation, yung sunod-sunod, di ba? Kahit sabihin mong per round, di ba? Tumikim ng 5 calf kicks yan. By the third round, yung naging 10, naging 15 calf kicks, mahirap na tumayo yun. Mahirap na makalakad yun. This is also what happened. This is what happened to Lito Adiwang. He was just, di ba? He knows that he is tough. He knows that he is strong. So every time na nagle-leg kick si Jeremy Miyado, kinakain lang niya, di ba? He was smiling. He was just taking it. Then Miyado went for the calf kicks. Then each calf kick accumulated by the second round, di ba? The moment Miyado would switch stances and the moment na he would put weight on that other foot, nag-twist na yung tuhod niya. Di ba?
Yes.
The moment na nag-twist yung tuhod na, it was over. Di ba? It was over. So again, leg kicks, calf kicks, what we see on camera is totally different from what happens inside the leg.
Yes.
So you get hit in the muscle and then you get micro fractures on the bone. Diba? Remember what happened to Conor McGregor. Apparently, he's had micro fractures on his shin. Then he still threw that kick. So the moment he put weight on it, doon na nabali. So again, these are the small details that we're trying to explain to everyone. Diba? Ano yan? Talagang accumulation yan. Parang sa boxing, parang sa Muay Thai. Diba? From the first round, tanggap ng suntok sa katawan. By the second round, namamagana yung katawan mo. Third round, masakit na yan. So again, it's all part of the science and the sweet science of fighting.
And,
so go, JC.
Yung towards the end nitong fight na to, kasi marami ako nakita nagrereklamo dun sa part ng fight where patapos na nung malapit na pigilan ng referee, kasi a lot of people were complaining na medyo off daw yung ginawa ni Miyado, na bumabato pa ng suntok pero sumisenyas na si si Adiwang na
Si Adiwang.
hindi ko na kaya.
Come
What are
on.
your thoughts on yung negative ng mga tao doon?
Hindi, di ba?
Come
Wala
on.
yun.
Defend
Wala-
yourself at all
Oh,
times.
yan.
Exactly.
So, that is number one. Defend yourself at all times. Now, it's good that Lito Adiwang was able to tell people that, di ba, he was signaling that something was wrong. Okay?
Mhm.
The signal was something was wrong. He didn't
Mhm.
say, I give up. He didn't say,
Yes.
no mass. He just signaled that something was wrong. Now, if
Just
you're
the
the
referee just decided
now in
na,
terms of in terms of any combat sport, until the referee tells you to stop, you don't stop.
yes.
Okay? Now, now if we're talking about the rules, Lito Adiwang broke his knee or twisted his knee. He couldn't fight with that knee. But if he decides to continue fighting, he can do so.
Mhm.
Right? So if ito lang yun eh, there are fighters, di ba? We've heard of so many fighters na bali yung wrist, na bali yung knuckles, na bali yung paa, but they kept on
Yeah.
fighting. So they decided to play guard. They decided to fight on the ground. Di ba? What if, di ba, Adiwang twisted his knee, but he thought that, okay, if Miyada charges towards me, I'll pull guard and then I'll fight from the bottom. Di ba? So it's still playing within the rules. So he's still within the legal bounds of an active fighting situation. So, an active combat situation. So, of course, if Miyada decides to attack, then he can attack, di ba? That's not an illegal move. Now, the moment he attacked and Adiwang folded and he signaled and he clearly showed the referee that he does not want to continue anymore, then that's the time the referee told him, or then that was the time that the referee stopped the fight. So everybody went by the rules. Okay, they all followed the rules. Walang dick move dito, walang masamang ginawa, walang, di ba? Walang masamang
controversy po
intention.
doon.
Trabaho
Yeah.
lang po tayo dito. Okay, trabaho lang tayo dito. And let's hop on to the next fight. What do you call this? This is the retirement fight of John Wayne Parr, and
Yeah.
1X
Torn.
decided to have him fight our very own Edward Folayang for his what do you call this? His last fight inside professional fighting.
100th daw, di ba?
Oh.
100 match. Your thoughts on that, Tito Carl?
Oh man. It was kind of a far cry for me. I didn't actually think it would go all 3 rounds. Parang because Edward is so huge after hydrating, tapos yung power difference lang nila, naisip ko, siguro round 2, early round 3, baka kaya-kaya na ni Edward. The fact that JWP toughed it out, and he gave Edward hell sa 3rd round almost. Parang he clipped him a couple of times, diba? Nahilo si Edward. And then, of course, true to Mr. Folayang fashion, parang, sige, balikan kita after mo akong maklip. Pero I was kind of nervous for Edward because I was rooting for him. And CJWP didn't disappoint. Parang he really went out on his shield. And what an end to such a storied career, di ba?
A
Sobrang
very
gunslinger.
Grabe
Went out
yun.
with a bang. I mean, kita
Ito
mo yung difference ng katawan, di ba? Yung
Tsaka yung mukha.
ng juice ang
Have you seen the
kines.
face of Edward versus the face of John Wayne
Daming
Parr?
hematoma, si JWP. Tapos, kita mong matanda na siya. That guy is a veteran. Tingnan mo parang yung difference ng yung balat lang yung hydration. Pag nag-hydrate siya, okay, hydrated, pero, di ba, ano pa rin?
Yung accumulated damage.
Talaga. So
Wala pa
much
rin ang
scar
side.
tissue. Diba?
Yeah,
So much accumulation of
actually.
wars.
Si Edward parang, in relation, ang kinis ni Edward.
Pretty boy pa si Edward. No? Fresh na fresh eh. Poging-pogi eh.
Nakakatuwa. Such a well-deserved, ride
Diba?
out into the sunset. Diba? Nakakatuwa.
Yes, madam. Okay,
Yes
one of the
po.
best women in
Ayan na.
tech. We are complete. Complete ang mga
Okay,
titos today. Yan, complete na complete po kami. Okay, one of the best women in tech for your programming and software needs, mga for the SaaS companies. Yan. So, okay, sino pa to? Oh, yes, Silver Lining TV. Yes, sir. John Wayne Parr. Okay pa rin kahit senior
Kahit
na.
senior
Oh,
na,
yan.
oo.
Definitely.
Hindi pa naman senior na.
Hindi naman senior
citizen.
lang sa fighting world.
Senior sa fighting world. Pati katawan, talagang wala na talaga.
Wala.
He poured it
Wala
out
na
there,
ibibigay.
left
Grabe.
it inside
Pero
that cage.
Willpower na lang.
Remember
Oo,
yung
willpower na nga lang talaga yung feeling ko. Diba?
Episode
And you
natin
go up
prior,
against, diba? You go up against
episode
an
natin
Edward
prior,
Folayang.
ay, mm, episode
Ang ano
natin
ko lang
prior
naman
where
talaga,
we were wondering kung ano kaya magiging performance ni Edward for this fight kasi nga, he's a wushu guy versus a Muay Thai guy. Tas kung anong rules,
oo,
iniisip
diba?
na natin kung ano
How
pwede mangyari.
how was he going to adjust, diba? That was what we
Mm.
previously discussed, diba? How is he going
I
to
think,
adjust to the Muay Thai
tama.
rule
We
set?
talked about the clinch, no clinch. Okay. Playing
Diba?
it
The
safe. Huwag
clinch,
na lang,
the
diba?
plum, diba? Yan, yung susunod na pag-uusapan natin, yan, very evident yan. Okay? Kung bata pa si naman JWP
wala.
bata pa.
Wala.
Wala.
Oo,
JWP yan. JWP all day yan. You cannot. You just can't. And speaking of the clinches and adjusting to rule sets, Rodtang versus DJ.
Oh my God.
Okay. Rodtang versus I know Tito Carl has so
Why?
much things to say here. Let's go, Tito Carl. This is
First
your
of all,
fight. This was the
first of
bout
all,
that you were really looking forward to.
Were there any surprises? Wala, di ba? Parang, come on, guys. Parang, pag-aralin mo man si Rodtang ng isang taon ng grappling, walang mangyari.
Oo.
Magaling. Gano'n man siya kagaling mag-grappling within 1 year, hindi mo I mean, come on, si Mighty Mouse yung gumawa ng suplex to armbar, di ba? Tito Franco. So, with that level of elite wrestling athleticism, there was no chance na pagdating ng round 2. Even our friend, I think, JC, si Tiger VWAT, said as much in prediction niya. My feeling nung una though was like there was a high percentage DJ would be fucking knocked out. Kaso Muay Thai rules, so walang miss to a downed opponent.
Oo.
But in fairness to DJ, he took some really hard shots. Really, really hard. He said as much dun sa post-interview. And Rodtang did say na, he clipped me a few times. But, you know, it was just yung maka-KO si DJ is just lunch to Rodtang. Ganong klaseng hits. Parang bigyan mo ng lunchbox si DJ, KO siya, pero si Rodtang, kakainin lang niya yung lunchbox na yun. As to the form, as his Iron Man moniker. Diba? Pero akala ko talaga maki-KO si DJ. He was in some pretty bad spots right there. And please, I request, kung makikinig man yung mga management ng promotion up, sa totoo lang, please, huwag na kayong gumawa nito. Hindi siya fair dun sa mga athletes. Kasi ang lalaki nilang names. Kukumpitin nyo naman dun sa mga adjacent na arts, di ba? Like, bigay mo kay Rodtang yung kickboxing champion. Bigay mo kay DJ yung sunod na grappling. Magaling naman siyang grappler. So please, parang awa nyo na.
Sakto, may follow-up
super
question
fight
pa
na
naman
DJ,
ako.
no?
Meron pa naman akong follow-up question para kay JC. Like, in your time as analyzing combat sports rule sets and formats, does this thing really work? Do you think this format really works?
Hindi.
Because K1 tried, di ba? K1 tried, Pride tried, di ba? And now
diba
one
may
FC's
Muhammad
trying
Ali
it
pa
out.
dati na he tried boxing a wrestler, something?
Yeah.
Yun pa, di ba? So, what do you think about this, JC?
A catch wrestler. Hindi talaga siya mag-work eh. Kasi, I mean, kamukha nito, Muay Thai, MMA yung rules na per round. I mean, it's giving ano man tawag dito? It's giving each fighter yung round. Kapag parang round 1, halos sure na tayo na kay Rodtang yan. That's his thing. Muay Thai yun. Yung round 2 na MMA, wala nang question. That's his thing. Kaya hindi talaga mag-work. I think mas maganda pa nga dito if ever ang ginawa na lang nila Rodtang versus DJ na kickboxing. Hindi Muay Thai, kickboxing na 3 rounds tapos gumawa silang isa pang event na rematch MMA naman.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. Diba? If since you want to find out if DJ can survive an all-striking an all-striking fight against one of the top fighters in the world, make him do that. Now, if you want to figure out if Rodtang has what it takes to
Yes.
survive in MMA, you make him fight one of the best in the business right now, or someone in your roster. Now, to interchange the rules, it's not just confusing for the fighter, it's also confusing for the audience. It actually looks weird for the audience. It
We're
actually
just tripping,
feels weird.
man. Diba?
Kasi
Trip
'di
ka
ba?
lang.
Parang it's your, 'di ba? It's like you're the company and you're trying to flex your power and tell your fighters na, okay, for this one, since we're paying you, we're gonna have mixed rule sets.
Hindi ka makakaindi, ah.
'Di ba? Since you're all in contract with our organization, our promotion, you can't do anything about it. Okay, you have to fight. So it's a good way to experiment.
Yes.
It's a good way to. Do I see any
Pero kung
entertaining
exhibition
value
nga
in
lang
it?
dapat yung rules nito.
Yeah, it's an exhibition match, but is there really entertainment value
Ayun
in
nga
it? Diba? Is it? I kind of
It's
see like
rule
one
set
of the.
trying to prove points, pero
Oh, diba? What are you trying to achieve?
Yeah.
That's the main
Mm.
question for me. What are we trying to achieve? What are we trying to answer
Yeah.
in formats like this? Is
If
it
it's,
purely for entertainment? So
yes.
if it's
Is it
for
for
purely
money?
entertainment, why
Would
are we
you-
using?
Oh.
Yeah, why are you using your stars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would
Right?
you
Why are
buy
we-
this if your
for
audience
pay-per-view?
yun lang yung nasa top ng card? Or baka naman kung martial arts talaga, pwede yung suggestion nyo guys, di ba na, we'll make more money if we make them fight MMA muna or kickboxing muna and then MMA.
Exactly.
Nakadalawang event ka, di ba?
It just
Or-
while I was trying to appreciate it, but it just felt weird. So you
Oo nga,
notice
weird
that
talaga eh.
if you're
Imagine
following
yung-
that rule set, diba? If you're
Yeah.
following that rule set, all DJ had to do was survive the first round.
Yes.
All he needed to do was survive the first 3 minutes. Now, if
And then
you're
we just-
Rodtang,
Oh,
since you know that you're basically
dead in
messed
second
up,
round.
or you're basically dead in the second round, you have to give
Mm.
everything you've got in the first round. And he was able to clip DJ several times, which goes to show how tough DJ is.
Yeah.
But he wasn't able to capitalize on anything, right? It
Kasi
simply
kung-
shows that even though Rodtang was very, very familiar with the
Yeah.
rule set, but there was one sequence that DJ went for a double underhook. They were immediately stopped by the referee because that wasn't allowed in Muay Thai rule sets.
Yeah.
Diba? So when it comes to that, so they created separation. Rodtang should have capitalized on that. The inability of DJ to not be familiar with the rules and the nuances within that rule set.
And-
So dapat
Yeah.
the entire round he was in front of DJ, diba? He was chopping down on
Unloading
his
lang.
legs. Diba? Chopping down on his legs. I don't know if they were
Mm.
able to use elbows. Parang pwede sila mag-elbow eh. Alam ko pwede
Pwede.
sila mag-elbow. He should have went for the plum, diba? Kept elbowing DJ there so that he would accumulate enough damage so that Rodtang has enough time to survive the second round.
Yes.
Because he
That's a
knows
good
that
strategy.
diba?
Good
He's
best
basically
yun.
he's basically dead in the second round. So if he can survive
Mhm.
the second round, then he can finish it off by the third round.
Third round, yeah.
Because it's back to
Pero
Muay
I
Thai
wonder
rule set.
kung dito sa klase ng rule set na to, since palitan ng klase ng laban every round eh. Ano kaya ang ginawa ni Rodtang? May game plan siya for round 1 and round 3, tapos si DJ may game plan for round 2 and round 4.
Oh,
Parang
meron
dun ka lang
yan.
pwede.
Yun yung mangyayari. Hindi, yun ang mangyayari dyan talaga. So, for example, if your rule set is on the first round, you're at a very good advantage na kagad. Diba? Yun yung dapat na ginawa ni Rodtang. Dapat Rodtang should have pulverized. If I were in Rodtang's corner, I'd tell him, calf kick the shit out of
Yes.
DJ.
Oo.
Yeah.
Diba? Calf kick him, leg kick. Diba? If you don't wanna, kasi gagawin, if he gets close, go for the elbows. Don't go for punches. Let's go for kicks. Let's go for elbows. So that by the time the second round, by the time they enter the second round, diba,
Damaged
DJ's
na yung
legs are
mobility.
battered.
Yeah.
Diba? Battered mobility. Diba? Compromised yung
Hirap na
yung
mag-take
game plan
down.
niya. Diba?
Mhm.
Because what did DJ do? The moment the second round started, he started stalking Rodtang.
Yun lang.
Went for the
Pressure
back,
sa
and that
cage.
was it. That was it. The moment
Asa ka
I
pang
saw,
makawala ka sa RNC ni DJ, my lord.
the moment I saw DJ get the back, I was
Wala
like,
na
this
eh.
is done. This is done. Okay, this is a done deal. We're over. It's over. So
What time did you guys start watching this thing, guys?
Hindi ko siya kinaya
I just
panoorin
watched
ng
the
buo eh.
replay. I just
I
watched the
cannot.
replay. I didn't watch it
Ako rin eh.
live. Aside.
Abangan ko na lang yung ibang mga
Because I don't
fights.
know, the time slot was very weird from the
Mm.
Una pa lang,
beginning.
may ano na.
From the start,
May fights na.
parang it was only gonna be shown on Signal or One Plus. Diba? The only
Yeah.
reason why I was able to catch some of it is because our very good friend Nisi Ikashano, who was by the way covering it in Singapore. Congratulations to Nisi Ikashano, okay, for covering it there. Nag-announce lang siya na, okay, we're gonna stream it on Facebook and on YouTube. Sabi ko, okay, that's good. Diba? That's good. Then they're going to leave some of the segments to be on strictly pay-per-view. So I was like, okay, that's good. That's good for the business. Diba? They gave out free fights and then it's their way of funneling in their audience
Very
to the
UFC.
pay-per-view. Hindi, tsaka, wait, di nyo ba natatandaan? One of our very first few episodes, we actually said that, di ba? We're gonna say that this is going to be the business model of ONE FC. They're gonna keep showing free fights, free events, free fights, free events. And then eventually, when people got hooked into each ONE FC event, then they start, Then they start charging for pay-per-view for the main bout. So that's definitely what they're doing right now. And of course, you heard it first here on Combat Sports
Yeah.
Weekly.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, everybody. And of course, our double champ agrees with JC. A pure kickboxing fight between Mighty Mouse and Rodtang would have been much better. And definitely more exciting and probably even longer, which is something I
Yes.
agree 100%. Okay. Ano pa ba? Oh yeah, next one is oh boy, this is kind of
Before pala tayo before
Go,
tayo
go,
pumunta
Jason.
kay Denise and dun sa main event,
Rematch.
pag-usapan muna natin yung dalawang grappling only
yes.
matches in this
My favorites.
Si Daniel Kelly. Yan, si Carl mag-breakdown ng Daniel Kelly.
Let's start
Love
with
it.
that.
Mas dynamic kasi yung yung game ni Daniel Kelly, mas mas new lang talaga yung kay May. It's just it's traditional, it's old school. So
Explain
she
the
was
rule
lost
set
in
kasi
some of the
this
scrambles,
ended-
diba?
Mhm.
Pero props to May. She defended most of that. By sheer athleticism, some of them, diba? Laki lang talaga niyang tao eh. Pero I think hindi ko nga alam na may judging. Akala ko pag hindi ka nakasab
Akala ko
kasi sub
exhibition
only,
nga
diba?
lang.
Hindi, dahil walang submission, draw.
Pero binigyan siya ng bonus.
Sino?
Si Daniel.
Oo nga,
50,000.
performance bonus eh. Siya nakakuha ng
Performance
50K eh.
bonus. Oh. I would give him the performance bonus as well kasi she was the one who was initiating
That's true.
initiating contact.
Very
She was the
dynamic
aggressor. Dynamic passing, diba? This is the new breed of jiu-jitsu athletes and
actually.
fighters. Of course, Mei Yamaguchi is part of the OG system wherein a lot of the emphasis was on defense. And the contrast, clearly shows that both systems are effective. Because Kelly wasn't able to mount any type of significant, dangerous offense that would end up in submission. Wala.
What did you think of that
Yamaguchi
toe
was
attempted?
Wala.
Parang
Titis,
wasn't really close, no?
Wasn't really close, diba? Yamaguchi was able to power out. She was able to survive, diba? Not for anything, she survived it. And the mere fact that Daniel Kelly was the younger fighter who couldn't finish Yamaguchi clearly shows how effective the defense and the resiliency of Yamaguchi is. It clearly shows which type, if you're a jiu-jitsu guy, whether you're doing MMA or not, it clearly shows the level of emphasis that you have. So for Daniel Kelly, it's the emphasis on offense. For Mei Yamaguchi, it was the emphasis on, defense. Very tight defense. Which brings us to the next one. Si Triple R, tsaka si Andre Galvao.
Yeah.
If Andre Galvao is going to fight Gordon
MMA.
Ryan based on his last performance there, he's
Do you agree?
might as
He's gonna
well
die.
he's gonna die. Might as well give all the checks to to Gordon Ryan right
The
now.
King. Yeah. Nag-post pa nga si The King, di ba, na break down niya yung mismong fight ni Galvao. Like, oh man, I agree with everything he just said. Tapos nagmukha siyang letter. Tapos parang, mukha siyang letter, di ba? Open after the match. Parang sinasabi niya, ito yung mangyayari sa match namin kung kami yung maglaban.
And they
Parang
will
predict
definitely
na.
have to fight, kasi
They will.
because Galvao is the ADCC super fight winner, and then Gordon Ryan is the absolute winner. So as per ADCC tradition and format, they have to fight
Limit talaga.
in this coming ADCC. Now, Gordon Ryan is also requesting to be so they're part of the super fight. If you're part of the super fight, you are not going to compete in the brackets. Gordon Ryan said that he wants to fight in the brackets and he wants to fight in the super fight. So
Wala
it
siyang
clearly
pakialam,
shows it clearly shows the confidence of Gordon Ryan in his abilities, and he knows that he's on top of his game. He knows that he's the man to beat, and I mean, the ADCC is a good cash grab for anybody who's joining it. So it's going to be a
He just
spectacle.
won, di ba? Sa WNO against that
Oh,
Daisy Fresh.
WNO. Diba?
Galing.
And very, very dominant performance. And this is coming from a guy who has stomach problems ever since. And
Ayos na ata.
and that's what yun, inaayos pa rin daw sabi. So it's getting better. According to him, it's getting better, and he's hoping for the best, and that it's going to allow him to compete in this coming ADCC. Now, the next fight is the rematch between Seo Hee Ham versus Denis Zamboanga, to which Seo Hee Ham
Heart
won
goes
by
out
a
to,
unanimous decision.
Denise.
First things first, we still love Denis Zamboanga. He is still our favorite fighter. Okay, all the best and more support. Our love and support to Denis Zamboanga. We wish you speedy recovery. Enjoy Singapore, and then have a safe trip back to Morocco Force. And then let's work on the things that you needed to work. Ako talaga, feeling ko, I think this is just my observation, but let's go with Carl and JC, and then I'll go last.
I think si Denise didn't really parang change much in terms of parang paano ko ba i-approach to. Let's try to break her down first 2 rounds, and that's what she did. First round she gave Ham hell. Kaso I think Ham's distance management, maybe correct me if I'm wrong later, is just a wee bit better than Denise had anticipated this time around. Parang nagsa-struggle siya to get into the distance, and then for some reason ang galing ni Ham mag-move, so nare-reverse siya, and then Denise was at her back was to the cage, parang, which is never good for Denise naman, di ba? I just wish she had kept the pressure, yung parang re-reverse lang ako palagi, kasi whenever her back was to the cage, si Ham would get the upper hand always. More than half the time, and it's something that Ham always does. And I was so frustrated for Denise whenever she would get taken down. Parang yung difference lang in the clinch and in the grappling, parang the wrestling, just a wee bit mas gamay, a wee bit mas gamay ni Ham, because Denise was always trying to scramble upwards. It's almost parang nalalasahan mo yung sourness ng frustration niya whenever she would get taken down, and ang top pressure ni Ham, ang laki palang tao, ganun. And si JC and I can attest to this. Malaking tao si Ham for that weight class. If she just walks around in her walking weight. There's also a really good nutrition program kasi sa Team Mad. And we've seen firsthand how huge their fighters are. Plus how actually good their skin is. For some, baka may skin din regimen din.
May skin routine.
Roommate natin ni JC, yung mga tiga-Team Mad. Ang kikinis all over.
Yeah, but, unfortunately, all over.
All over talaga eh. Props to Ham. We wish Denise all the best in recovery. I think she just needs to work on her game a bit more. Parang alam, I'm not one to parang impose whatever it is that they already know that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've broken down all the sequences and everything that they needed to parang improve on. So they'll just need to go back to the drawing board and magkikita uli yan for some reason kasi nagka-crop up naman yung mga top 5 sa taas eh. And marketable naman sila. So kung si Kevin at saka si BB had like 4 rematches. Yeah, so I'm sure makikita uli ito. Pero I'm looking forward to Ham versus Angela if ever.
JC.
Sa akin, yun nga, unfortunate that Denise didn't get the win, pero it's ang bilis din naman kasi nung journey niya dito sa One Championship when she came in, tuloy-tuloy yung panalo, which was amazing. Pero yun nga, si Ham Siohi kasi she is a very seasoned veteran sa women's MMA. 2007 pa lumalaban na siya.
Ryzen, bro.
Ryzen, she fought in the UFC sa Deep. And yun na, itong One Championship na ngayon. I mean, yung caliber din naman ng mga kalaban niya, grabe din. I mean, she's even defeated yung si Jinyu Frey na naging champion eventually sa Invicta, di ba? Parang, we know how tough Siohi Ham is. And yun nga, exciting na makita what's gonna happen pag naglaban na sila ni Angela Lee. I mean, kung macho si Angela Lee, mas macho si
Siohi Ham.
Ang laki talagang tao. Wala kang masabi.
I think we all have the same observation. For me, it's like Ham was bigger, stronger, looked stronger, was faster, it was quicker. Diba? That's why it's baffling that this girl wasn't able to make weight and failed her hydration test previously. And she was able to make weight like 12 midnight ba? I don't know. But I put it in the comment section if I get this wrong. Na parang she made weight and passed her hydration test at like 12 midnight. So you only have X number of hours to what do you call this? To recover, to rest and recover. And you dominated that fight from round 1 to round 3. Now, in terms of Denise Zamboanga's performance, she was still the same Denise, only it's like what I said when I posted on my TikTok. She was like a tad slower. She was like a step slower than usual. She wasn't really there was the explosiveness was there, but the follow through was absent. So I don't know if she was able.
Hindi ko alam kung ano yung game plan nila for that, pero
diba? I don't know.
Makuha ko yung distance and then pagkatapos wala na.
Parang she wasn't able to get her striking in. There was disorientation and there was no connection between the striking and the grappling. She was able to pin her against the cage, but she wasn't really as another problem that we saw, another challenge for Denise, and definitely she needs to work on this when she gets back to the gym, is her ground skills. It's her jiu-jitsu for MMA. Every time that she got taken down, but she would end up in close guard. So from close guard, you have to be able to transition to a more dominant position. If you want to play half guard, you should have it should have been utilized more. There were instances wherein she was in deep half. She wasn't able to capitalize. I mean, I heard Fritz shouting na humarap ka sa kanya, but she wasn't
Fritz pala
really,
yun. Okay.
But she wasn't really responding. So I don't know if this was either she's overtrained or she's too tired that her body wasn't responding anymore. We don't know.
Could it be an early adrenaline dump? Baka may ganun.
Pwede ring early adrenaline dump. Basta
pagod lang.
You know that it's Denise, but there was something missing. It's like she was like a step or two behind. And this was something that Ham capitalized. You saw her na para, she was big. Diba? Ang laki ni Ham for this fight. Diba? We're not insinuating anything, by the way.
No, she's really that huge, man.
Diba? She's really just big. She's big.
Man.
She's a big girl for that weight division. So definitely this is something Denise will work on, and she will get better. We guarantee you she's gonna get better. She's gonna
If
bounce
you
back
go
from
back
this.
to, if you were her coach and you guys go back, and if ever you're fighting Ham again, anong points for improvement, coach?
More wrestling.
Hmm.
Because ito yun eh. Ham thrives
Cage.
on her size. So now if your wrestling is at par, you can control that size.
Yeah.
You can negate that size with technique. Also, let's say she's going to impose her will on you, then definitely if she gets to take you down, you have your bottom game has to be on point. Diba? Hindi pwedeng you're gonna get taken down, then you'll go to close guard and then hug for dear life na lang, di ba? That's more tiring eh. So you should be able to create circumstances wherein you could stand up, di ba? You could push her face, technical stand up, get into half guard, get into butterfly guard, and hopefully get a sweep or a scramble situation wherein you can get away. And then let's go back standing. Basta there was no pop in her strikes. Basta a lot of things were missing during that fight.
Yeah, pero tsaka for a time din kasi, 'di ba, mismong si Denise, isa sa mga strengths niya is malaki din siya sa kalaban niya before. Kaya alam niyo,
dito
mas
malaki
malaki
siya.
talaga si Ham kesa sa kanya.
Mm-hmm.
Hindi yan na mabuli yung mga
Oo.
Just ang laki ni Ham, ang laki ni for this fight, ang laki talaga. Nagulat ako. Then
It's I think this is the yung Angela Lee formula na malaki siya kaysa sa kalaban niya sa lahat ng naging laban
Angela
niya.
Lee is like, oh, well, let's talk
Yun
about
eh.
later. Pero ang laki din eh.
Oo, 'di ba? Speaking of Angela Lee defended her belt against Stamp Fairtex via rear naked choke in the second round. This is very impressive considering the long layoff. Stamp was the more dominant fighter. Stamp held her own in the striking department, however. Wala, iba talaga yung level.
Oh,
Diba? While Stamp was just getting comfortable with her ground game, wala, iba yung level of familiarity talaga ni
Maaga pa eh.
Angela Lee. Angela
Dami
Lee
attacks, no? From
Angela
everywhere.
Lee dominated the ground game. Wala, it's just dominated the ground game. It's just there.
Despite the liver shot, no?
Oo. Kaya I was like, when it got to the ground, I was like, okay, we're done. Okay, we're done. Angela Lee, black belt. No. Got the
Bilis
back,
eh.
flattened her out. No, this is done. No more. It's just a matter of time.
She was huge, man. Parang no? Parang yung
From
sobrang
weigh-ins to
balik-initan.
fight night, pag nakita mo si Angela Lee, di ba? Super ripped nung
Sanay na
weigh-ins eh. Di ba? Batak eh. And it was, di ba there are fights wherein Angela Lee was just thin. She was drained. For this one, she was batak.
Parang nakabuti yata yung layoff, guys.
Oh, she was able, probably, di ba? She was able to concentrate on motherhood. And I really think din naman na it allowed her time to heal her injuries. So, and then, of course,
Diba nag-car crash pa siya?
oh, given the opportunity to fight again, of course, it reignites that competitive flame on you and then gives you a better perspective of things.
Yeah.
So, medyo sigurado yan. Na-excite bumalik sa gym, na-excite mag-train, na-excite lumaban. And it showed.
That's not to take away anything from Stamp, who put on a great
definitely.
round one.
Diba, Stamp Fairtex, her progress through each fight,
Amazing.
nakita natin, diba? We all saw her progress. Big improvement in striking, big improvement in grappling, especially in the grappling department, diba?
Yes.
Even her time will come. Now it's interesting how this will play out. Ham versus Angela Lee. Are they going to make Stamp fight Denise as an eliminator?
Yun nga eh.
Diba?
Feeling ko doon papunta eh. Parang that's the fight that
Former
really
best
wanna...
friends.
Diba?
Former
teammates.
Feeling ko
Yeah,
naman
ano
magkaibigan
yung
pa rin
storyline?
sila, diba? Diba? Former teammates now finding themselves at the opposite ends of the cage. Feeling ko that I think that's gonna
Will their
happen. So it's
TikTok
going to
days
be
get in the way?
Feeling ko mangyayari yan. That's gonna be the
Easy,
it's going
low
to be
hanging
a
fruit na
main
storyline.
co-main event thing. It's gonna be an
Yan.
all-women's main and co-main thing. So it's gonna be Angela Lee versus Ham, and then it's going to be Stamp versus Denise. Feeling ko. Diba?
Would be a good one, actually.
Diba? And of course,
Tatlong fight card din.
Yung fight card, baka ilagay dyan si Christian Lee, si Drex
Oh,
Zamboanga.
yan.
Yun.
Saka yung pinakabatang Lee.
Oo, di
Yung
ba? Tapos ang
teenager.
title ng card, Sibling Rivalry. Oo.
Oo.
Oh, yan.
Oh, di
Yan
ba?
na yung next
Or-
event nyo, one
di
narinig
ba?
nyo na.
Feeling ko talaga, di ba? Oy, humabol pa si Tito Bin, eh.
Ayan na.
The
Yan,
Sports Bin. What's up, the Sports
Hello,
Bin?
guys.
Everyone, please follow
I
the
thought he was
Sports
joining
Bin on
us.
Facebook and
Busy.
on Instagram and
Busy.
on nasa na ba to? I think Bin is everywhere as well. Big congratulations to the people of UWW Philippines, United World Wrestling
Oo
Philippines. They just
Hapon,
held
ano?
over the weekend,
Or-
UWW, they did their Greco-Roman, their freestyle, their grappling tournaments over there at Victoria Sports. Thank you so much to the amazing people of Victoria Sports for hosting the event, hosting our national athletes, our national treasure, and of course, being the venue to scout local talent for international competitions. So again, Victoria Sports, that's along EDSA, Quezon City. I think that's after GMA, that's Victoria Sports. Please go there. It's
Malapit sa MRT station.
ano siya, it's a
Oh, yeah.
haven for athletes.
Okay.
Okay? A haven for athletes. They got rock
Ganda.
climbing, they got swimming pools, they got
Wow.
basketball courts, tennis courts. So if you're looking for a venue for your sporting events or if you just want to train,
Pwede doon.
best facility in Quezon City probably, okay? Because I've seen the place, the showers are amazing, the gym looks amazing. They
Sounds
have
like the next venue for URCC,
pwede rin, di ba? So the gym, the martial arts and the combat sports area, they got huge mat space, they got boxing rings, and they got MMA cages. I think I saw 2 to 3 MMA cages. So
Wow.
it's the ultimate playground for athletes
one.
and people who want to be athletes and people who are and practitioners, hobbyists. Yan. You want to learn
Weekend
jiu-jitsu,
warriors,
you want to
yan.
learn boxing, Muay Thai, di ba? And at the same time, you want to go to a venue na magandang environment, di ba? You don't have to worry about anything. Di ba? You
Pag
have
sinabi mo maganda yung
parking.
banyo, parang yes.
Napakaganda nung banyo. Pwede kang
Yan
mawala
ang
dun sa banyo.
Yan ang po namin benchmark eh.
Bentahe.
Ayan, di ba? When you talk about gyms, di ba? The hallmark, of course, is the banyo. So definitely, this is one of the best places for you. Again, thank you so much to Victoria Sports for hosting our national athletes. And then, of course, Sunday was the what do you call this? Grappling part. So it's the gi, no gi, and then tama ba? Oh, tama, gi no gi. So yun ang grappling proponent. So that's United World Wrestling event. That's a United World Wrestling event. UWW is the Olympic arm of wrestling. And of course, all of this would not be possible if not for the president of the Wrestling Association of the Philippines, Chief Alvin Aguilar. Thank you for making this happen. The amazing people of High Rollers. Yan, High Rollers is the partner for this event. Okay, as always, if High Rollers team is there, you know that it's very seamless, it's very smooth. Thank you to all the gyms and athletes who participated. So, everyone, that's it for us. That's the show. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. JC Reyes is on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Karl De Mesa, the book is out. Look it up on
Malapit na,
Shopee.
Serve na ngayon.
Okay. Mag-pre-order na rin po kayo.
Yes.
Follow Destroy MNL on social media. Follow Karl De Mesa. Okay? May ano yan eh. Si Tito Karl may personal page. Pero we want you to follow the author page. Okay? Karl De Mesa, author. Okay? All his projects are there. The interviews, the write-ups. Okay? Everything is
Kung
there.
wrestling, doon.
Yan, pati yung mga wrestling fans natin dyan. As in yung mga tama ba? PWR ba yun?
PWR,
Ayan, PWR.
MWF, ano pa yung isa?
PWR. All the wrestling leagues.
WUW.
Wow.
And ano may isa? MWF.
Isa pa, diba?
Yan.
MWF, yeah.
Oh, yan, di ba? And he just got interviewed by X Reyes, the
Yes,
leadership
also
the
one of our
leadership
friends.
podcast.
Yeah.
So, ayan, we're thank you for the people who are partnering with us. As in, maraming salamat
you all.
at we appreciate you all. Now, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on TikTok. Just type my name, it's there. And we will all see you next week for another edition of
Yes.
Combat Sports Weekly. Bye-bye.
Mhm.